Starting a business at 18, I already had the mindset to be very disciplined. So I was in college, but I was not living the college life.
What is up, my beautiful people? This is your host, Riza, and in this specific episode, we get to speak with the one and only Dinasty. Her Instagram handle is Coached by Dinasty, and she gives us the ups and downs of really building a successful business. So without further ado, let's take a listen. All right, so I am so excited to announce my guest here at Queen of Dynasty. She's been a huge person I've been following for quite some time, and a little bit about her is that she has an online platform, Queen Dynasty, and now her Instagram platform is Coached by Dynasty. She encourages, educates, and inspires women on how to accomplish their dreams and create the life they desire. Dynasty serves as a two-time self-published author, entrepreneur, and business coach. After starting her first business at age 18, she has been focused on using social media marketing to build an empire while helping others along the way. She focuses on providing the proper tools and teaches how to start an online business while helping to inspire thousands. So Dynasty, thank you so much for joining. We're excited to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
So our audience, or my audience specifically, probably may not know a lot of your background and whatnot. So I'd like to share or talk about the first couple minutes of like your background, how you really actually got started, and really what was the driving force of you starting your business in the first place. I remember a long time ago, I don't know if it was like one of your stories, but you shared something that someone said something to you and that just triggered something. You're like, no, I'm not going to deal with this. I am going to start my own thing. I'm going to do my own thing. And then from there, you just skyrocketed. So I don't know if you resonate or remember anything like that, but go ahead and share.
Yeah, so like you said, I started when I was 18, so really, really young. It was my first year in college, and like a lot of college students, you know the story, you're in college, you're struggling, you're broke. Like, that's mostly everybody. And like you said, I just wasn't comfortable there. I knew I wanted more. I just didn't know how to get it at first. So the story you're talking about, it was actually my mom. I needed to wash clothes. Like, I needed to do laundry. And inside of my dorm, we had a like laundry, but they had it on little carts. And I had no money. So I'm like, hey, can I wash clothes? And she was mad about something and she wouldn't give me the money. And that was the point. I was like, I won't ever be this broke again. Like, where I can't even wash my clothes. Like, I won't ever be this broke again. And I, like you, like, follow so many people. I get so much inspiration from social media. And that's kind of my background and where I started at. So I was seeing all these other women, young women, women of color, and they were doing it. And I'm like, okay, we're on Instagram all day. Like, you know, our generation is like second nature to us. And I'm like, I can do a business off this. Like, I can do this. So I just kind of went for it, and it just worked. It was very successful. It was like I was in my natural element. Everything went really good. And from there, since 18, and now I'm 25, about to be 26 now, so almost 8 years. Like, I'm almost to that decade point. It's been Instagram and e-commerce and like the digital world. I've just kind of sunk myself into, and I really love it. And I just hit the ground running from there.
That's so cool. I knew, yeah, it was something about your mother. That's what it was. So I'm reading this book, and actually it's called The Heroine's Journey, and it talks a lot about how women tend to lose their femininity in a sense because at a young age, at some point, they have to show up masculine, and not in a face of like, you know, masculine way, but more of, you know, providing themselves, doing all these initiative things. And I'm curious to know, with your mother, because you've built something so successful, especially at such a young age, what is your relationship with your mother now? And even when you pursued your entrepreneurship, was she like, you're crazy, what are you doing? Or what's her mindset? Because I know sometimes, you know, the older generation wants that consistency, that stability. What's that look like now?
Yeah, for sure. Well, first off, send me that book.
It's so good.
I don't know if it's something going on in the atmosphere, but I was up to like 3 in the morning last night talking with my aunt. I've been talking with my friends. It's like women, we're really investing in touching back into our feminine energy. So I'm loving that, because sometimes, like you say, we do have to show up masculine a lot of times, and we the pressure from the older generation and our mothers, and they just want us to be secure. Like, I'm old enough and mature enough to know that my mom only wants the best for me, and she wants me to be secure and not have to depend on anyone. But we're taught to lead that in a masculine way. So right now, we kind of have the same relationship. Like, then it wasn't bad. It's just my mom is just a very strict person, and she kind of leads with the tough love mindset. But like you said, yeah, everybody in my family thought I was crazy as hell. But even before entrepreneurship, I will say my mom is just very traditional. So even going to college, it was like, okay, it needed to be a career that made sense for her. So before entrepreneurship, I just been always overly ambitious and kind of was outside the norm. So she wanted me to go into nursing or pre-med or law or to be a teacher, something that made sense to her. And I was like, oh no, I'm going to be a communication major. She's like, what the hell is that? She's like, what, to talk? I'm like, media, all this stuff. And she was like, okay. But she went to work, and actually her boss's son was a lawyer, and he was like, oh no, that's great. It's a lot of politicians, and my lawyer friends, they majored in communication for undergrad. She's okay. So then she got reassurance in that part. But then of course I changed my major like 50 million times. But in college, my business honestly was more of a side hustle. So it was more so like, okay, she's doing this for money, but I actually ended up doing criminology and opted in for a pre-law. I was like, oh, I'm going to law school. So my family was fine. That sounded great. It was after college where it was like, what is this girl doing? Because I had to come back home because I stopped everything. So my online hair business, that was 6-figure business, successful. It wasn't my passion. I did not love it. I did not enjoy it. And I felt like graduating college, I have to be an adult and actually find my career now, not a side hustle. And so I stopped everything, no income coming in. And I went on this journey to find myself per se and find what I wanted to do. So I'm home with no job. I went on a job interview, so she thought I had a job. But about 2 weeks later, keep seeing my car in the driveway every morning. She's like, okay, this girl is not going to work. So then it's like, yeah, what are you doing? Because you have bills and you have to pay them. It's the real world. And it was one of those things in my head. I wouldn't answer a lot. I wouldn't give a lot of information. I just didn't want the negativity to sneak in. But it was like, okay, I have to show. It was just like, wait for it, and I'm going to show you. And I did. And I can say my mom, all of my family is very, very proud of me. She talks about everybody about me. She shares all my stuff on social media. I can have a speaking engagement. And just from that time when I couldn't talk to them about things because of the negativity, I'm still like that. I don't talk to my family about what I'm doing a lot. So I have to work on that. But I can have a speaking engagement, an event I'm throwing, and she'll buy her a ticket and just pop up and support me. So it's better now, but it's one of those things of show and tell. So that's the thing. For people out there, don't hold it against your family. They don't understand. They only know what they know. And they only know how they were raised and whatever. You just have to show them so that they can believe. So just work and show them.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. In the beginning of that process, a lot of it is protecting your mindset and going against the grain, right? So I'm curious to know too, like, what were the resources, or did you have people that you connected with that, you know, were very like-minded, or was it just you? And how did you protect your space and your energy to be like, I'm going through this 110%. I don't care what people say.
Yeah. So by nature, I'm an introvert. I love being by myself.
Are you really? No, you're not.
I swear to God, I don't like people. Like, to be honest, I'm always by myself. And I have literally, I can count on my finger, my friends. Like, of course I have associates, you know, whatever, but my friends. So that part wasn't as hard because I naturally don't let a lot of people around me. And then I looked up, God just blessed me. My best friend I met in college, we just had the same mindset. It was one of those things as, we're here because our family and society said it's the thing to do, but we know this is not what we want. And so I had a counterpart, my best friend, roommates lived with her, everything, that had the same mindset, so I didn't feel so alone and crazy. And when I wanted to work on something, she was working on something, and we both believed in each other craziness and pushed each other and helped each other go get resources. If she's seen something online or saw a book, she's like, hey, read this, or hey, go to this seminar, hey, do this. And I did the same for her. So I think that helped a lot. You have to have the people around you that had the same mindset as you and believe in the same things as you. But the thing about not bringing the people around me, like I said, I'm an introvert, so that was easy. I don't allow a lot of people around me. I'm very private. I don't tell people my personal business or what I want to do in my dreams. So just naturally being to myself helped. And then starting a business at 18, I already had the mindset to be very disciplined. So I was in college, but I was not living the college life. There was no organization, no Greek life, no parties. No, I was literally school, go home, package orders, emails, DMs, running my social media, school. It was school and work for me. So that I think also aided in it, that I started so early. So therefore I didn't even have time to be around distractions and all those people.
Yeah, it sounds like you grew up so mature already for your age.
I've always been very, very mature. I'm the eldest out of 5 siblings. Yeah, so it's naturally, and then I don't know if people believe in horoscopes, but then I'm a Cancer, so we're like very motherly and
Yes.
nature, like, and nurturing. So I just always act like everybody mom, or like the leader per se in school, any group project. Oh, Dynasty's the leader. Like cheerleading team, I've always been the captain. So I think it's embedded in you. I've naturally been that overly ambitious and leader and just mature. I'm the eldest, so I had to like grow up faster. Just mature kid always.
Mm-hmm. When you moved back home, was there a lot of distractions? Like with your, I mean, that's a lot of siblings.
Yeah,
Or...
but everybody was at school and work except me. I had the house to myself usually. It's a lot of siblings, but we're all close in age. So my sisters were one of my sisters was in her last year of high school. So then she left for college. Then the other 2 was working and then moving out the house. So it literally ended up, I was literally staying there by myself with my mom because my other sisters left out the house and were working and they got their own places. And then my other sister went to college. So it was me, my mom, and my little cousin who my mom adopted. But other than that, it was it. So it's honestly though, how I am, I would say we get it from my mom. She is hard working, and just how I am so focused and work. My sisters are the same way. So even if everybody was home, there's literally no distractions because everybody's working. Like it's crazy, but we're all really like that.
Mm-hmm. That says a lot about your family and the generations and like how much our family does impact, directly and indirectly. So let's talk about the money mindsets and handling a lot of money. And so as women, unfortunately, especially women of color, we tend to not be educated in how to manage money. Like it's so interesting to be like, I'm talking to my girlfriends and we notice like, oh my gosh, like our mother never taught us this, or we never were educated this in college. And what does that look like to handle a lot of money and especially a business? So I'm curious to know, when you finally hit your big numbers, right, in your business, what were, like, did you have any anxiety or like freak out, or how did you manage the money and how do you do it now, especially as a CEO and managing all this stuff?
Starting off everything wrong. Said I was 18. First of all, I was a kid, and then I did come from a background where wealth and money management, and first of all, business just wasn't, entrepreneurship was not spoke upon. It just wasn't. And I come from the class that you work and pay bills. You work and pay bills. There's no extra. There's no savings there. You just work and pay bills. So when I did see large sums of money, when I would do a sale and get 50 orders, 100 orders, I honestly was just excited. But it's like an immature and pre-immature excitement. I wasn't nervous. I was so excited to spend it. And so it hit me more so when I got a little older, junior, senior year of college. Like I said, getting into the place of, okay, you have to graduate and the real world is coming. Looking around, I would look into my PayPal, my Stripe account, see 6 figures or whatever, like, oh, this year you made so-and-so in your business. Look around, but I have nothing to show for it. Not even a savings account. I spent everything that came. Immature in college and just spending money. I would go out of town, go to Atlanta for the weekend, Miami, like just doing dumb stuff. And so you have to hit that bottom or that realization in order to be like, I can't do this anymore. So where the shift in the money mindset comes from is seeking the knowledge. You have to see a difference and want it first if you weren't taught it. And so now you have to go learn it. So it was a book that really changed everything for me. I think it's by T. Harv Eker, The Millionaire Mindset. And I read that book and everything made total sense. Like the way he talks about, like I didn't even know that we had a relationship with money, but you do. I didn't know that the way you spend money is how your parents spend it because you earn it in your home. So just like when I would get a large sum of money and I just got excited and spent it, my parents are the same way. It's like, oh, I gotta do this, I gotta do this, I gotta do this. And like nobody's saving, nobody investing. And I was like, gosh, I literally do that. So first, seeking the knowledge, being real with yourself and acknowledging where you're wrong at, and then developing the habits that work for you. So now it's like as soon as I get deposits, the first thing I do is it goes in my savings. One thing too is telling your money where it needs to go, having a relationship with it. So understanding what you need to do first, what's the priority. I'm not a person who's a big shopper or anything like that, but I do travel a lot. That's my splurging. I travel a lot.
Really? I couldn't tell. You and me. I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, I love travel and I just love nice places and things. So that's my splurge. And I'm not like a big shopper or anything. And then I invest heavily into my business and just self-education. So those are like my big ticket things. But I'm okay with those because it's investing in myself and my knowledge and culture and experience. But I had to, you have to outline it out. Where money gonna go? How much do you need to save? Where do you need to be investing? And just prioritizing it and seek the knowledge. So reading those money and wealth books really helped me.
Mm-hmm. I have two follow-up questions that came to mind when you were talking about this. One was for women specifically, like how, gosh, what was the question? It was like the money mindset and then all those shifts and stuff. Like, how do you encourage women to, okay, so women like luxurious things. Not all women do, right? How do you justify or allow you to say, I'm going to spend X amount of money on vacation or X amount of money on this dinner because I have the money to do so, when, you know, some women have, well, not even just women, but people in general sometimes have that belief of like, but why should I be the one spending this money, or this is not fair, or someone else, you know, what are your thoughts on that? Or how do we change our mindset shift on that when we want to pursue luxurious things when we do have the money to do so?
It is hard, especially if you came from kind of like my story of having bad spending habits, really disciplining myself. So I would sit down every Sunday, that was my money day, and actually calculate everything. What have I spent in my business? What went out? Deduct inventory, like do my numbers. So I had to do that every week until it became just habit. Right in front of me, I have my little cash book, and you get it from the dollar store, and I literally like have to write out.
Oh yeah.
Because I didn't grow up with that. Nobody taught me how to manage my money. So I had to go old school and build myself up to the discipline. Now you have the discipline, you're making the money, you're doing great, but now you have like been major pain, like boot camp. And so now when it's actually time to do something, you're going to feel guilty. But the thing about it is just embrace your feelings and understand that it's natural. Don't buy anything. Someone said this rule. It was a business owner. I'm not sure who it is. Oh, April. She also hairstylist in Baltimore, have multiple shops and everything. But she was like, she doesn't buy anything that she can't spend 3 times or more. Like if it's not in her bank account times 3, she doesn't buy it. And then also this is after all bills, all priorities. This is leftover money. So even leftover money, it needs to be like times 3. If you cannot buy it 3 times, 4 times, you should not be spending money on it. So that's kind of the rule of thumb I use. I will never empty out my bank account to get a luxury item. My bills are always paid first, and savings and like everything that's important needs to be paid first. And then I look at what's left over. And then if I want to treat myself, I treat myself because I do work hard. I work really, really hard. So, and then I think also outlining what are your needs, what are your wants, and what is that luxury? What is non-negotiable? For me, my hair, my nails, that's just not negotiable. I'm going to get them done because I feel good. And if I don't have it done, my self-esteem is low. I don't operate properly. So you need to know what do you need and what's your priorities. Everybody's different. Don't base your life on anyone else. Clothing is not big to me, but where I stay when I travel and all those things, that is very important to me. I like to be comfortable and I like luxury hotels. So then I know that part about it, but I will ban in other areas. So I think going into it, just knowing your wants, your needs, and what's priority, and then also in your budget, having already set aside what is going to be your splurging. So mine is travel, and I love, I don't club, I don't go out. I just love going to dinner and getting nice drinks. So I will pay for a $100 dinner. I will do that because I don't go to the club and pay for $100 liquor bottle. So, like just knowing you and, your boundaries.
Mm-hmm. Hey listeners, so I know this is probably annoying that I am interjecting in this specific section, but I knew this was going to be the only way to get your attention. So look, I'm asking for a favor, and that favor is if you could find my podcast on Apple Podcasts and leave a review, it would help exponentially. And here's why. Number one, it demonstrates that I'm actually giving you some good value and you appreciate this podcast. And number two, it continues to give me the motivation to give you new episodes every week and research new people to get on the show and to interview them. So if you could just so greatly support me in this, go ahead and find my podcast, leave a review. Then go ahead and find me on Instagram at my Instagram handle at RizaTante and slide into my DMs. Let me know that you left a review and we'll give you a shout out on the next episode. So let's get back to this one, shall we? Going off of boundaries, how do you manage your time with all the things that you need to do and all the tasks that need to be done in your business, and then also having time for pleasure? And sometimes when you have to work a Sunday, you work a Sunday. How do you not overwork yourself?
Ooh, that's always
if that's possible.
It's possible. I definitely think you can have an unhealthy work ethic, and I have to stop myself a lot. Today was one of those days where I looked at my calendar and I was like, okay, finally, no morning appointments. I'm sleeping in. I'm not waking up early. Before I went to bed, I did the shade so the sun doesn't get to me, and I made my room dark. And I was like, enjoy sleeping in. Even when I woke up, I didn't grab my phone. I just laid there. I thought, I prayed. So it's a discipline. Again, it's definitely a discipline. One thing that works for me though is writing everything out. I don't know, it's something about me writing, even if it's typed out per se. But I like to go by month. I kind of plan my business, my schedule by months. It's not weird, but it's like, what do I need to get done this month? And then I look at that, and then I dedicate certain tasks to a week. So therefore, I'm really only focusing on 1 or 2 things a week. I don't look at everything else. I don't worry about anything else. 1 or 2 things a week is all I need to focus on. And yes, I work until it's done. And then when it's done, I'll relax. I'll do whatever. But you do have to know when to shut off. You most definitely do. And then it also comes into play of having the right structure in your business. I thank God I have a digital business. Most things are online. And then I try to put other things in place, like hiring an assistant, having automatic responses, having sales funnels to kind of automate some things that I can step away.
Mm-hmm. Going off of that too, like hiring assistants and whatnot, what are your criterias, or what do you think is really important as a CEO or someone that has an online business to look out for when you're building a remote team? I mean, it's so easy for someone to tell you like, oh yeah, I can do this X, Y, and Z, right? But then when you actually put them to work, you realize they can't do shit. Like they're not doing their job. You're like, what? You just told me that you're able to do this task. So for you, like, what are the things that you look at in your A team?
Mm-hmm. So definitely was not my strong point. I joke with my friends all the time, like, do not put me ahead of HR. That is not my strong point. It's not. I only know how to manage myself. But my business coach actually has been helping me with this a lot. And I think because I didn't go into corporate, I have that background. That's something as a solo entrepreneur coming just straight into it. You don't really learn that team and management skill set. So she has, and so she's been helping me. So things that has worked, I would say this year, I'm finally like getting it right. So things that has worked is having like a project manager or just some type of flow and system in place. Like you don't want to hire an assistant and then you expect them to just read your mind or just know what's going on. Cause I used to be like that. Like, girl, you see on my Instagram, you know what I do. Like, but people can't read your mind. So having a system where it's like I said, I say, okay, guys, this is what we have to get done for the week. And this is X, Y, Z, and then dedicating certain tasks. I used to also just be like, oh, whoever wants to do it, do it. No. And what really helped also is hiring people for what they're good at and understanding that. I ask, like, so what do you enjoy most? Not just what you're good at, but what do you enjoy? Because I feel like that's what you're going to put your all into. And I feel like that's where you're going to show up best and the work is going to be best. So like right now with my assistant, yes, she's my assistant, but she loves the like media and marketing side of things and creating. So those are the things I outsource to her for the most part. When I have anything that I need to do digital wise or creating wise, you know, I let her do that. And so I can work on something else because I just pay attention to what she's really good at and what she's enjoyed doing, because I feel like she'll show up and do that work the best.
Mm-hmm. That's really good. So how many people do you have in your team right now? Are you managing?
I have 2 people right now. So I have a creative director, but she works remotely. I hired her just because your social media, your branding, your image was something I had to figure out I need to stop trying to do by myself all the time. And so she does all my photos, all my videos, give me ideas, help me, and then also help with my client, just image and visuals and everything. And then I have an executive assistant. So that's kind of like my right-hand man, and just all my tasks, all my workload, all deliverables. She helps me execute all that. And then also just keeping up with emails and customer inquiries.
Mm-hmm. And did your business coach help you? Did you say your business coach helped you build that kind of team? Like, look, you needed to build a team if you want to leverage.
Yes. Like when I told her about that, she was like, okay, one thing she taught me was actually break down what you need. Cause I went through that building the team thing one time and I did it oh so wrong. I did like this open internship and when I first opened the office, and then I had like 5 or 6 girls, and it was just like, oh, everybody just hands on board and do whatever. It wasn't like dedicated. Of course, naturally people kind of fall in their place, but it wasn't like, okay, this person is for this person is for this. And then a big tip that I want to share that my business coach gave me is never give people more than 3 to 4 things to do. If it needs to go over that, that means you need to hire somebody else for a different position. You want to give them 3 to 4 tasks that they focus on and they do really good at. Don't overwhelm them and give them a bunch of things to do. It's not fair. They're not going to be effective in their work. And if it gets to a point you have one person doing like 10 things, it probably means you need to hire like another position for that. Like,
right.
Assistant, I like her to check my Instagram DMs, but she's not posting and stuff for me. If I need posting and engaging, okay, now it's time to hire somebody else for that. A social media manager. My assistant doesn't need to handle that. That's my social media manager job. So just not delegating so much on a person.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about investment. So, and business coaches and mastermind groups. Are you in a mastermind group right now?
I am.
Okay. And for business coaching and investment, so and obviously you've invested a lot of money. I invested tons of money in coaching and mentoring and whatnot. How important is it for someone to get a mentor or coach in the beginning of their business? And what are some, for example, a lot of people are like, I'll just, teach myself. I'll, look up YouTube and stuff, which is great, but we all know that time is money. So my question is, how do we educate other people the knowledge and how important it is to invest, basically?
For sure. It's very important. And I wouldn't even say for the beginning of your business, all of your business. There are CEOs who's been 30, 40 years in companies, multi-billion-dollar companies. They still hire consultants, and they pay these consultants millions of dollars. So clearly coaching and consulting is effective, and everybody need it. The top, quarterback, it can be Tom Brady. He has a coach. And then not even that on the football team. They give the quarterback their own coach. So you have your regular coach and then you have a quarterback coach. You have a specialty. So everybody needs a coaching. They need mentoring. It's so effective because when you're in it, you get stagnant and you can't see everything from the outside. And sometimes you miss certain things. You don't know what you need to improve. You don't know where you need to grow. And sometimes it's not even like in a bad thing. It's just somebody else with a different pair of eyes, with a different vision, and they can see more in you and they can push you and make you accountable and help you to that. Because if you're the coach in your field, you're carrying somebody else. Who's carrying you? Who's helping you? Who's you're okay. So even if it's just for that, the accountability and just that mentoring, get a coach for that 100%. I definitely recommend it. And yeah, that what it is for me. Like every other month, every few months, because I'm a person, I get stagnant and I get bored. And sometimes, you know, how they have writer's block, I feel like sometimes we may have creator's block, and I may not know what's next or where to go next. And so that's where my coach comes into place to guide me and open my mindset up to new things that I didn't even think about. And it can be something so simple, like one thing, and it can change your entire business, your entire revenue. Like, just, it can change so much, and it can be one suggestion. So I highly recommend it. It's so, so important. And just for your success, and I love that you said time is money, because I always say nothing in this world is free. You're going to pay with money, or you're going to pay with your time. So what a coach does is that they eliminate a lot of time, but they also eliminate a lot of mistakes. They eliminate wasting a lot of money, and they just eliminate big headaches for you. Or you could have been trying to figure something out, they can just tell you what to do in 5 minutes.
Exactly.
It makes sense.
Exactly. With mastermind groups, what do you look for when you join mastermind groups, especially at the level that you're at? What are the specific things that you want to make sure this mastermind group has, and what do you get out of it?
So again, I'm an introvert. So group, I look for groups, but with my coaching, it just came with it. But I will say, the support is great. The support is great. If you don't have people in your life that's on the same mindset, doing the same things, in the same field, they don't understand you. It's great to have those mastermind groups, because it's a group of individuals, literally you guys sharing the same struggles. You're going through the same things. You understand each other. You're in the same industry. So those great. But what I look for most is, I think it's the accountability plays into that too, because usually when you're in a mastermind, you have to show up every week. You have assignments. You have to feed off one another, and then you get kind of motivated. Like, if so and so over here is doing it, okay, let me step my game up and do it. So it's like that accountability, and it keeps you motivated and going. And then also just the network. Like, I think we downplay just, it's okay to be just in a network for the right people. You don't know who you're going to meet and what relationships you can build and how they can help you, you know, along the line. That's why people pay to be in certain organizations, to be in leagues, to be on charities. It's literally, you're paying to be in a certain network of people. So I don't think we think about that community aspect as well.
Yeah, community is super important. Let's dive into when you go and network, and then let's talk about, I'm really curious to know if you get any intimidation by men. So when they know about your business and what you've ran and whatnot, do you ever feel that you intimidate people when you go into networking events after you share your stuff? Because I'm going to give you a quick example. For me, a lot of people think, you know, when they look at me, it's like I look super young, right? And I'm in my late 20s, and yeah, I'm still young, but it's young to the point where like, oh, we thought you just graduated high school. And it's great. It's a blessing. And I'm so thankful for it. Like, thanks, Mom, for those Asian genes. But it's also kind of frustrating, to be honest. And so I'm just curious to know, what are the battles that you've had to, you know, are just those hurdles, if you've had any in those events? And also too, like I said, I'm really curious to know too, in the men department, like, do you find that men like question you a lot, or what does that look like?
For sure. You know, my experience though is it's been easier to work with men, because
Really?
men come straight to the point.
Yes.
It's women that our emotions get involved, but men are straight to the point. Like, so once I introduce myself and I state my value, and when we talk numbers, men are like, okay, X, Y, and Z equals this. Okay, cool. Now, yes, upon first contact, again, we're really young. We're not your typical CEOs or whatever. Like, you know, we're not all uptight and suit and tie. And then you're a woman of color, you're minority. So you have all these things against you already. It's like women don't know as much as men. Then you're of color. Then you're really young. Like you said, you look at like you're fresh out of college or something. Like, what for me? But I think you have to be confident within yourself. You have to be confident. I'm very confident within your story and just your value and what you can bring to the table. So I don't get intimidated, because I know me, and I know what I know, and what I don't know, I don't let bother me. If somebody asks me something that I don't know, oh, that's not my field, I don't handle that, but I can refer you to somebody else. So I think you have to be comfortable within that too. Like, we all don't know everything, but what you do know, do damn good and do damn well. Offer your value for it and show up and serve. And so, yeah, with men, it's typically so easy. And a lot of times I run into couples, and so I got their husband sold, everything is good, and then here he comes bringing over his wife.
Yeah.
Here we go. And it's like, oh gosh, we almost had the dotted line sign. And for me, it's the women. It's not men. Men are so easy to work with once they know your value. And like I say, you say your numbers. But it's women because we psych ourselves so much. We overthink so much. And then it's sometimes insecurities. And then for what I found is me being so young and the success I've been able to accomplish, older women aren't always so comfortable with that. And so that's what I run to more as far as intimidation, not the men.
Mm-hmm. With the older women, do you ever find them saying any like slying things that you're like, when you go on network at all? I'm curious to know about that. Or not so much? Or they just like, oh, wow, and then just kind of move on?
So much. It always, like, it starts off as wow, like you say, wow, like very surprised. But it's like once you actually start working with them, it's like the relationship gets kind of weird, or it's kind of like intimidation in a way, or they just can't believe it, or like, I don't know, just my experience. I can't speak for everybody, but my experience with working with some older women, the thing about it is a lot of these women I look up to. I would think, oh, maybe she can become my mentor or whatever. And then it's like they're intimidated by me. So then it doesn't work out. So it's been disappointing. And I can't speak for everyone. It's just my experience. But yeah, it's not like at initial contact. Initially, it's just they're very surprised. And then when you start working with them, it's like now they want you to prove themselves, but then also like want to take from you at the same time. So it's like a weird dynamic.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about your VIP or your private clients. I'm curious to know, with your private clients, what would it be like to work with you? What do you work on with their businesses, and what are the top common things that you notice that people don't have in their business, like the marketing stuff, right? Because you're the marketing guru, the marketing queen. So curious to know what that entails.
What I run to a lot of times coming into things is that people aren't speaking to or clear on their audience. People are not in touch with their follower base. They're just not, it's not clear messaging. And marketing has to start there. Like, who is this for? Because that's what the marketing revolves around. How are we going to deliver this message? What is the verbiage we're going to use? What culture are we basically trying to attract and pertaining to? So people need to understand and like seep in and get clear with their audience and who their product and messaging is for. So that's like the first brick wall that I hit a lot of times is the product is great. Like a lot of my clients, they have great products, it's nothing to have a great product nowadays. I always say that people stress about the product so much, but it's like you can have the best product in the world, but if nobody knows about it, it doesn't matter. And so it's coming to getting themselves out of it as far as what they like in their personal feelings, and just knowing who is this for? Who does this product or service, what problem does it solve? Like, who is the solution for? And then really catering to those people and being more interactive and involved. Everybody is not okay with showing up, but you have to show up. You have to be in your business. Like, you're saying you're not making any sales, but you're not being interactive. You're not posting. You're not engaging. You're not going the extra mile. So what do you expect? So that's a lot of times what we run into. And then people just being confident and comfortable. Like, we live in a great time where we can have fun with this. We can be creative, like we can really build communities and tribes here, but people just aren't comfortable and they're just unsure. So a lot of my work, what I find out is 50% is like this mindset and confidence building, just to get them to believe in themselves so that therefore they can go out there and spread the right message to their audience.
Isn't that interesting? Like, that's what I find too, is that half the battle is just getting that negativity out of their mind.
It is.
You can give them all the marketing strategies, all the business stuff, all the content that they need to be successful, but if they don't believe themselves, there's just no way.
Yeah, I think every coach, especially in the marketing or business or whatever field you're in, it goes back to everything is mindset. Everything starts at the top. Everything starts at your head. And so that was a realization for me too, because I came into this like, oh, I'm just going to teach women how to start a business. And then as soon as you open up for business, you get all these emails about their personal issues, their relationship issues, their self-esteem, their self-confidence. And naturally, as women, we relate. And so it's like, whoa, I didn't know that I was going to be like this life coach within business.
Right.
Because if their mindset isn't right and their confidence isn't right, it shows in their business. And even certain things, they're never going to reach certain goals. If they don't believe they can hit six figures on a negative mindset, you're blocking the money. You're gonna block it from yourself. So yeah, you have to start there. So now something I do, all my trainings, all my master classes, all my online courses, all my books, I always include a mindset training because I have learned from experience. It starts there. So I always, before we start, we talk about our mindset. I make them write affirmations and declarations. I let them be clear on their goals, and I kind of just encourage them to believe in it before we even get started on the work, because therefore now when you do the work, it's more intentional. Now you know where you're going. Now you believe it can happen, and I feel like you get better results that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's great. All right, I'm gonna give you a couple more questions, and we're gonna do some rapid fire questions.
Okay.
So as you know, we have this really interesting pandemic that's going on, and a lot of people are stuck at home. So what would you say are like the best things to be focusing on when working on your business? And how do you keep your mind fresh of new ideas?
So for me right now, with everything that's going on, it's like, okay, as business owners, we have to adjust. So that's it. You need to adjust. A lot of people think they need to stop. It's not stopping. It's just a shift. And so I want to be clear on that. A lot of business owners are like, oh, this is kind of uncomfortable. Should I still promote right now? Am I doing something wrong? Because people, we may go into a recession and whatever. Just need to shift your messaging. Now understand, what do people need the most? So as a business coach and a marketing strategist, I'm working with my clients to, one, if you cannot run a business, right, we may be on quarantine for another 30 days, another month. So if you have a physical location, find virtual and digital aspects where you can work in. So again, it's just a shift. And you definitely shouldn't stop right now. It's just shifting. So it's our messaging have to change, and we have to know, what do people need the most. So literally 2 weeks ago, I was doing just how to start an online business course, like how to start an online business. That was it, just how to get started. Now I'm doing ways to make money from home, because I understand a lot of people have lost their job. Millions have lost their job in 2 weeks, and they don't even know where to start. So I'm just going to help people understand how to make money from home, how to get another income, how to make digital money, so that you don't need to rely on a job right now. So I'm not stopping coaching. My messaging is just changing. So that's how we look at this time, as what does the market need, and a solution to their problems. I had a client, and she has it's called Resort Cuties, but it's like a travel boutique for plus size women. And so she sells swimwear and bags and just different things. And so she was like, she sews, and she was like, Dynasty, I kind of want to make travel masks, but I don't know. I don't want to take it during this time. And I'm like, how is that taking advantage? They need it. You deal with people that travel. That's your audience. And they need it. So business owners, don't be afraid to show up and give people what they need right now. And so she put the travel mask and like hand sanitizers on the website, and literally people are on her, where can I order? Where can I order? Like,
Wow.
people need it and want it. So just shift your messaging around a little bit. You may have to add different things in different aspects, but you can definitely still do it. You just have to say, okay, we're in this epidemic. What do people need right now?
Mm-hmm. I love that. Yeah, messaging is super important. So for brands, like what do you think is important for branding in a business? Like what are the things that are like the key foundations for a brand?
Again, I feel like everything starts with your target audience. Everything needs to revolve around them. So it needs to be relatable, connect to them, and then also being cohesive. Know what is your company values, know your brand values, know your big promises, and stay cohesive with, again, back to stay cohesive with it. Everything needs to relate, everything needs to be cohesive. And then also have some personality. Make it fun. Nobody likes a dry, boring company or brand anymore. Even corporate companies are seeing that, and that's why they hire different influencers now and people that can spark things up a little bit. So your brand personality, being very cohesive, and then just always catering to and knowing that message to your target audience.
Mm-hmm. That's great. Oh, I could keep talking to you and ask you so many questions, but I obviously want to be respectful of our time and stuff. So I'm going to be giving you rapid fire questions, and then from there you can share with us where people can find you, how to work with you privately, all that good stuff. So you ready for the rapid fire?
I'm ready.
She's like, oh God, what is she gonna ask me?
Okay.
Okay, so who or what businesses motivate you the most and why?
Hmm, good question. Cece, the six-figure chick, her work ethic is phenomenal. I'm like, girl, how? It takes me like a whole month to put together a class, and she can do like 7 classes, ebooks, everything in a week. So she really, really motivates me. Just seeing also any young woman that I see online, I'm just inspired. Like, I love the time that we're in, and so seeing so many young women, even men too, but you know, I'm a woman, so I relate to them. Just seeing so many young women happen, like literally making it all happen off social media, you know. So that always inspires me. But if I have to pick one person, CC the six-figure chick.
Awesome. What is your favorite candy?
Hershey's chocolate almond.
Really? What are the top books that you would recommend for your wealth consciousness?
Definitely the Millionaire Mindset, T. Harv Eker. I recommend just your conscious period because it's going to relate to everything. Watching The Secret, YouTube or Netflix, and reading the book The Secret. Dave Ramsey have some amazing books. And then Reposition Yourself by T.D. Jakes. You would be surprised. But that man, that's
really
T.D. Jakes' entrepreneurship advice, money advice, everything is phenomenal. And I love him because I think a lot of entrepreneurs are in a weird place when it comes to your spirituality and entrepreneurship, because I grew up in a Christian household, and a lot of times they make you believe that money is the devil. So that's another mindset you have to shut down. And so I'm able to follow a pastor that, you know, gets it and is so entrepreneurship, you know, savvy. So Reposition Yourself by T.D. Jakes, a big one for me too.
That's great. If you could go to any concert, everything's paid for, which concert would you go to and why?
Oh wow, any concert.
Any artist.
See Beyonce, honestly. She's a great performer and you never know what she's gonna do. But the crazy thing is I am not a part of the Beyonce. I'm not a big Beyonce fan. It's just
really
I'm not like a big fan. But again, I'm just an entrepreneur. Her work ethic, her creativity, and just the way her energy, I get motivated. So I'll like probably get like business
you're like, let's go. Okay, if you could ask, so let's just say there is a God, right? Because I know that some people don't and stuff like that, but there is. Let's say there is. What would be the one question that you ask right now?
Woo!
I'm throwing that one out.
Can I be like honest here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Be like, God, who am I gonna marry? Because I feel like this dating world and everything, it's like a lot of times, and a lot of women run through this, like our business, everything is going good, and then relationship wise, it's just, if you could just give me like a 10-minute snapshot. I'm okay. I don't even think how long it's gonna take. Just as like I know that it will be good and I'll be married and happy with kids, and just show me who he will be, and I will be so content for the rest of the year. So
you're like, I'm good. Let's go. That's awesome.
Tomorrow night in my dream.
Do you find it difficult to go out and date and stuff while you're building your business?
Yeah. And not even just while I'm building my business, but just dating. Period. So like our dating environment nowadays is just so sucky.
What are your top 3 must-haves in a partner?
Definitely support, because I'm such an ambitious woman. So support means so much for me. And then he has to be ambitious as well. Like, I need to be motivated by you. I need to feel like I can learn from you. And then just being that leader, that man, like being that provider, protect. I feel like the 3 P's I heard, I think Steve Harvey said it, but provider, protector, and protect. So professing your love to me, being a provider and being a protector.
That's good. I like that. I love this conversation. It was great. And I want to tie up because I don't want to take more of your time, but where can people find you and hire you and get connected? Where can they find you in all social media platforms and websites?
Awesome.
And courses.
Really, really good. So thank you so much, Riza. But I spend most of my time on the gram, on Instagram. So you can find me at Coach Coached by Dinasty, and my name is spelled Dinasty. My everything else is under Queendom Dynasty, which is my company, my platform. So that's Queendom as in king, but Queendom Dynasty. So Facebook, I'm on YouTube, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and I'm also on LinkedIn. And then my basically program, my course is called Become a Boss. And so we have a starter business course, and then that will teach you how to get your online business started. And then I also have a marketing course that will teach you how to make sales in your business. So that's kind of everything, me in a nutshell.
Oh, perfect. Awesome. Well, thank you so much again. And I'm really looking forward to what else that you create in the future.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I really, really enjoyed it.